Shalom, all praises to Yahweh, Ba'Shem Yahushua, Ba'Shem HaRakakadash. I want to see apostles and elders of great millstone that rule well, and Shalom to all the brothers doing work sincerity truth. Um, yeah, it's funny, you had over the course of today, Rishi Sunak, the Prime Minister over here, basically pushed for some new rules on immigration. Basically, stopping people, well, trying to stop people coming across the pond, well, actually across the English Channel, and with it basically saying if you cross over the channel, then it's funny because they basically said you don't get to keep your well, you essentially sacrifice your human rights, which is fucking nuts. If it goes through, because it's just been proposed. I think it needs to be discussed with the EU, but that's that's kind of wild. Saying if you illegally enter the country, then you surrender your human rights. If it's even said if you've been put in a state where you've been what do you call it, you have a situation of modern day slavery, then the protections that exist in laws in the UK can't be applied to you. And then as well, there was something else. Let me see if it's on there. Nah, wait. Yeah, I don't think it has it, but there was a tweet you put out which basically had it there, and it's interesting because we'll kind of see where it goes. And basically, EU saying it's like if I think it's called what, the European Convention on Human Rights. If uh it gets pushed through by Rishi, then he's the trade deals with the EU are going to break down and whatnot. So we'll see to what extent it gets enacted. Says that Rishi Sunak faces a fresh clash with the EU after a senior commissioner warned that his contentious new migration bill will be in breach of human rights laws. The intervention comes as the Prime Minister prepares to meet French President Emmanuel Macron on Friday, where he's expected to be asked to guarantee regular payments to stop boats carrying asylum seekers from crossing the channel. Sunak has said stopping the crisis is one of his top priorities, while Suella Braverman, the Home Secretary, has insisted the new law, which aims to criminalize, detain and deport refugees, is within human rights legislation. This is Ylva Johansson, the EU Commissioner for Home Affairs, said she personally told Braverman that she believes her asylum plans breach international law. Yeah, that's what they're saying. It's essentially gonna shit breaking the so-called human rights, the global human rights, which well, those things are a creation of Esau, man. And then we ain't gonna be sticking to what Esau said as human rights in the kingdom. But for now, it's one of those ways that it keeps nations in line. So they spoke on Tuesday about the Home Secretary's Commons statement and the publication of the bill Yeah, so let's see. If it has a hair, so the effect of this bill in this form would be to deny protection to many asylum seekers in need of safety and protection, breach of refugee convention. But yeah, people are kicking up a fuss. So I said the Home Secretary disagreed with the commissioner and asked her to read the detail of the bill once it was published. A source close to Braverman said Johansson's comments will add to the perception that ministers expect the bill to be stalled by legal challenges and maybe a cynical attempt to provoke a row of Labour in the run-up to a general election. Well, we'll see what it shakes down to, because it's one of those things. If it gets established, it then becomes easier to be like, okay, look, under XYZ circumstances, then them human rights, these certain rights cease to apply. Because why? You've basically by taking certain actions, you've then forfeited your protections. So we'll see, because that's something that can be expanded on over time. Once once you it's getting your foot in the door with one of these laws. So that's why I was like, it's interesting still, because hey, we'll see. So Isaiah 24. It says what? Isaiah 24:10. It says, the city of confusion is broken down. Every house is shut up that no man may come in. There is a crying for wine in the streets. All joy is darkened. The mirth of the land is gone. In the city is left desolation, and the gate is smitten with destruction. And that's, where we're arriving at. Where especially all the things that have been upheld over time as what makes the West virtuous. Now what? The legs been made bare. The skirt's been lifted up. All the scars and gangrene and criminality that's been going on. These things are being exposed, and a lot of it is Esau snitching on Esau. So then what? Now all these, what once seemed like a dream, a fantasy, is now, it's an illusion. It's a mirage. And that sea that seemed so magnificent, realizing like it's covered in homeless people. There's piss, in the corner over there. And what you hoped you could attain and achieve, it's unreality. It says in the city is left desolation, and the gate is smitten with destruction. When fuss it shall be in the midst of the land among the people, there shall be a shaking as of an olive tree, and as the gleaning grapes when the vintage is done. Then they shall lift up their voice, they shall sing for the majesty of the Lord Yahweh. They shall cry aloud from the sea. Yeah, so it's gonna get shook. It's gonna get decimated, man. It's gonna get desolated, like what happened in Turkey, man. Turkey and Syria. It's where it's been, what would the word be? Not catastrophic. Them man have been sent back in time. Essentially, is the levels of destruction they experience. But that's what everyone's getting ready to feel. All these things that people had faith in. They were like looking at this place, like, oh, it's so noble, so honorable. Now it's been revealed. It's a crock of shit. But yeah, I'll leave you there. Shalom. Yabashim Yashabashim Kakadashakta. Shalom.